Hey guys, Boris Oscar from BK Forex. Welcome to our Forex Daily Technicals for 5/20/13. As always, trading foreign exchange on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. So I invite you to read the disclaimer very carefully to understand all of the risks associated with trading forex on margin and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. Well, we started off Asia session today, obviously with a correction in dollar yen. Let me just pull it up in just 1 second. We'll do a little short-term moving. You can see there was a big spike down. We sort of took a 100-point move to the downside. Here it is. Here was the spike down, and then it got bought very, very quickly. So there's definitely still remains tremendous amount of support on dollar yen at around the 102 level. The gap down and the sell-off was a function of some talking down of the yen, or rather talking up of the yen by the Japanese finance minister, who said the move has gone far enough for the time being. And I think it's literally less a function of them being happy with the current price, but just simply the idea that they wanted to slow down the ascent of the rate of ascent for dollar yen. I still think the Japanese want to see dollar yen go higher, but just perhaps not at a kind of a rate that they've been experiencing over the last few weeks. So the critical thing here, I think that's kind of interesting, is if we stall out here, then clearly 103 now it becomes the near-term top. If, however, despite his commentary, we're able to take out the highs, that would just suggest that there's so much upside momentum in dollar yen that we could really see 104, perhaps even 105 before the rally exhausts itself. The technical picture right now shows an interesting, value proposition, big buy wicket early in Asia, but the price action has just been so slowly and so early. It's kind of hard to make a definitive call as to whether this trade still goes higher at this point. Obviously, 103.30, the key takeout level in dollar yen. I would say really 103, probably 40 would be the key takeout level in dollar yen for further upside action. Downside, once the 102 is broken, or really 101.95 is broken, then we see further distribution and perhaps a move all the way out to, as you can see over here. See, this is the 102. We had a big support. It's actually acting very well off the 102 support for the near term being here, right here. But if we break this to the downside, then we see 101.50, and really 101, I think, is a real target to the downside for a short-term correction. So yen looks interesting, and both sides of the range now become very, very key levels for possible upside downside break. Euro, on the other hand, clearly found a little bit of support at the 28.50 level, or sort of 28 level, came right back up. Now the 29 becomes the big overhead support. Let me go back right on a easier chart. You can sort of see the 29 is really the overhead support. It sort of goes through a stutter step resistance process where you have 29, 29.50, and then really the 30 becomes a much bigger overhead support over here. Here's the 30. So it's going to be hard to imagine for Euro to climb through all these levels without some kind of a stomp and a corrective action. To the downside, 28 break again. If you break 28 to the downside again, it really opens up at 27.50 as we go forward. Aussie's finally starting to act a little bit better, as we talked about the fact that this was a key support level around the 97. We've come back with about 80, 90 points off the lows here so far. But Aussie, of course, had so much technical damage done to it that every rally now becomes a sell. So 98 becomes a resistance level, 98.50, 99. All of them are going to be parked out with lots of sell orders for late come shorts. It's going to have to do a lot of work in order to come back through all of this. But it looks like Aussie is just basically in consolidation mode after a massive, massive sell-off with 98.50 to 99.50 as the key top side of the particular range. And lastly, pound is sort of very quiet. Also came back up off a pretty severe sell-off on Friday, and now it's just kind of this 51.50 was finally where it sort of bottomed out on Friday. And it's just kind of trading very quietly to the upside with very, very little price action. There's not much news in the market today, so it's potential that we could have a very, very quiet, sort of non-eventful consolidative day as the day progresses. But as far as yen goes, it'd be interesting to see what if North America tries to test the lows again, or whether we could just squeeze back up take out the highs, ignore the commentary, and move all the way out to the 104s as the rally continues. Wishing you guys the best of luck and the best of trading. This is Boris Schlossberg, over and out.